something just to be you and me.
Behind every clock and under each day is something surprising and rare. The only thing we've never done is love. That's what I know. It's something we own. And this is our house. It's not very new. The carpets are worn, but we make them make do. But if you've a thimble, a pencil or a pen, a feeling for friendship, a face that can grin, the most of our needs are few. We might come a borrowing some bright tomorrow. We might come a borrowing some bright tomorrow from you.
You ken John Peel, the break of day. You ken John Peel when he's far, far away, with his hounds and his hares in the morning. You ken John Peel with his coat so gay. You ken John Peel when he's far, far away. You ken John Peel with his break of day, with his hounds and his hares in the morning. Do you ken John Peel with his coat so gay? Do you ken John Peel at the break of day? Do you ken John Peel when he's far, far away, with his hounds and his hares in the morning?
I'll warn you. No knocking about the messing in rooms downstairs. Is that understood? Oh. Go on up. Her ladyship will want to take the measure.
Where are my scissors, Mrs. Crumpthorne?
They came apart, my lady. I'm taking them to be mended.
Oh, very well. I'm your great Aunt Sophie. You don't look at all like my nephew. Do you remember your father?
Not very well.
He was a sorrel, splendidly hairy. Oh, peerless horseman. I myself taught him to hunt. I don't believe the residents of Boston go in much for hunting.
No.
No, I thought not. Well, what do they do?
Do?
With their horses. Their horses. Where do you Bostonians ride your horses?
Ride?
Are your wits perhaps inadequate? I asked, where are you accustomed to ride your horse?
I don't ride.
You don't ride? Oh, you mean since you were 6?
No, I'm afraid of horses.
Afraid of horses, my great nephew. Have you perhaps forgotten that you're English? I should have expected it. Bringing the child up in the city, neglecting his character, feeding him unhealthy slop. No wonder he's spiritless. Mrs. Crumpthorne, I want the child to have proper English teas and good English breakfasts. porridge with thick cream, and eggs and sausage and kippers. And for lunch, plenty of blood-red meat. We'll soon have you up in the friskiest horse in the country. And Mrs. Trampfurl, pour me a glass of Madeira, please. Madeira is not medicinal. Mrs. Trampfurl claims to be teetotal. Come and sit on the bed, boy.
If you're looking for a cup of tea, you best fill up the wood box. That's what men are. Knocking things around and leaving a mess for whatever woman's handy. If you do your work... Why again? There, did you see under the stove? Get a poker.
I set a trap there only last week.
Nasty things in the cupboards everywhere. And why didn't you clean up the mothballs that you spilled?
I never.
Where's the other half of the scissors? Oh, it's the limit.
I never seen no scissors, and I never make no mess with no more.
Oh, no, you never. I'll tell you what else you never empty the ash pan.
Pod, you're late. What's that fearsome-looking thing?
What, tea not ready? Oh, this means war, woman. It's me and Mrs. Crampfurl at dawn. I sent him a card. Hey, it took a bit of doing to get this, huh?
Is that what took you so long? I could have swore I heard that. Pod, what's that all over your... That's ash. You had to come down from under the stove.
Tut, don't scold, woman. It was just a little shortcut, like.
A shortcut? Under the stove, a shortcut, ashes and hot coals? Pod, they was in the kitchen. You might have been seen. Why do you take such... Oh, Pod. Aren't you something?
Now, don't worry, old girl. I wasn't seen. I've never been seen. I don't intend to be seen. This place is mine. No cats, no dogs. And what humans there is, duck soup, you might say. None of the hazards of me wild youth. Well, where's Arietti? I've got something for her.
Well, she always is these days. Arietti! Arietti! Arietti, tea is ready. I'm coming. And what have you been doing?
I've been writing in my diary, Mama.
Oh, I hope you'll read it to me sometime.
Oh, Mama. Papa, it's wonderful down by the grating. The sun, the birds, everything. There was a field mouse.
Which hand?
Oh, this one.
See what I brought you? Oh, that stamp album upstairs is such a one. All the colors. I really don't like to borrow from it.
Oh, Papa, I'd give anything to see it. I mean, all of it.
Arietti, your father can't very well lug down a great thing like that. Wherever do you get your ideas?
I didn't mean that. Papa, I wish... Well, what I wish is that I could come borrowing with you.
Oh, you wicked heathen girl, how can you speak so? So it's come to this.
I could borrow. I know I could. I'm tired of being cooped up down here.
Cooped up? Who's cooping you? That's a fine way to talk. With a nice home like you've got, and a grating into the bargain.
Oh, Papa.
You know, Harry, run along, hang up your stamp on the wall, and come back quick for tea.
Okay.
And 4 miles in 20 minutes. It wasn't bad going for this particular pack. Before the hounds had checked at High Beach, half the field had fallen out already. You see, this rascally old dog fox, as I told you. Well, I can see you have no interest whatsoever in the hunting field. Take the tray to the nursery, Mrs. Cranfurl, and place the decanter within reach, if you please. Run along with Mrs. Cranfurl, boy. Have your tea in the horseless security of the nursery.
What am I to do every day?
Eat what Mrs. Cranfurl gives you. Get plenty of fresh air and whatever exercise you're up to. And in the evenings, come in and kiss me goodnight. I'm sure you'll be fit in no time. Perfectly sound English stock turned all yellowy and runty from city living. Up. Oh, well, age and pain and disappointment. Never took comfort from pure spring water.
Near your bedtime, Oh, it's ruined. There were only 2 of the real China ones left. I told you, Larry, I did not to use them.
No, it's only a cup. No need to make such a terrible fuss.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh, it's all right, Larry, dear. I should have kept them out of harm's way. I did so dote on those cups.
Wait a minute. Seems to me that I've seen a cup like that up on her floor. Yes, in the old nursery. Oh, I'll go up and get one right now.
You miss. You get yourself to bed where you belong. Now. Take good care of yourself, Paul.
I tell you what, I'll try to get a little of her perfume on a piece of cloth like for you.
Those terrible stairs, Paul. You're not exactly a boy.
Might I suggest, madam, that when I return with the perfume, you and I'll have further discussions about my age.
Precisely why I never married. The futility of true communication. All hounds and hares, hounds and hares. Ooh, Pod, dear, reach me a pill.
Catch!
There's no communication between men and women. No between generations. When you're as old as me, Pod, it'll come to you. Will you get old, I wonder? You poor little delusion. I've told Mrs. Crampfurl about you.
Oh, that was very naughty of you, Lady Sophie.
I said, Mrs. Crampfurl, it only stands to reason, I said. Factories go on making safety pins year after year, hundreds and thousands of them, and people go on buying them, and yet there never is a safety pin when you want one, or a pencil, or a needle. Now, where else could they go to? Something takes them, I said. Or somebody.
Lady Sophie.
I thought for a moment the fool woman was going to offer me a lecture on the evils of drink. Oh, Pod. I long for a bit of human companionship. Pod, you're all I've got.
Oh, and you mean a lot to me, Lady Sophie. Being able to come here and talk with you about the world. The truth is, a man's family is a precious thing. But the world, Lady Sophie, the world.
Oh, poop, the world.
Yes, and I'm still young. You know, borrowing has always meant adventure to me, danger, excitement, pitting me wits against terrible odds. Oh,